Hi there. So Mercury is going to go retrograde from tomorrow. Mercury is already in shadow period, so when a retrogradation really does not take place, but it takes place from a heliocentric point of view. So because we are on Earth, we experience the retrogradation of the planets, but they don't really retrograde in the skies above. So that's something we need to understand. Now, Mercury retrogradation is all about internalizing our thoughts and internalizing the experience that life is doling out to us. How are we participating in this game of life? That is what Mercury, the planet of communication, the planet that deals with our ideas, our thoughts, office work, siblings and all of that. That is what it has to do. Everything becomes introverted. So Mercury is actually linked to alchemical water in the ancient Hermetic texts. And because it bonds and it dissolves mercury, it was very widely used in the ancient times. So it was something that was thought to be very sacred, okay? And Paracelsus identified mercury as a part of the primal trio, okay? Sulfur, which is the animating soul, then salt, which is matter and body, and Mercury mediates between the realm of spirit and the realm of matter. Okay, so superego, ego. This is the domain of Mercury. We have sulfur, we have salt, sulfur, which is spirit, and salt, which is the physical world, and we have Mercury that mediates between the two worlds. Okay, now the anima is unconscious. Okay, the what Carl Jung called the anima, it is the unconscious principle, and it comes to how we experience the anima, which is the unconscious. What we bring to the conscious mind is done through symbology, symbols. Okay, there is no definitive meaning, because meaning changes contextually, geographically, based on its location and its interpretation. But symbols are archetypal, they are forever. Okay, they are the same in every single culture. Death, childbirth, connection, love, it is the same. Sex, it is the very same thread. Okay, it is the same thing. And so studying the tarot during Mercury retrograde can be very powerful in bringing all these symbols from the anima into direct manifestation. Okay, so with Mercury retrograde, we have, of course, I have my news feed is flooded with memes that tell you, okay, this is what Mercury retrograde is and that is it. Okay, there's some problem or the issue with my communication devices, and it does happen. I'm not saying it doesn't. It happened to me many times with Mercury retrogrades, but that is not the be all and end all of a Mercury retrograde. Okay, it is so much more, because Mercury is the psychopomp, the bringer of messages from the world of spirit, right? So there is so much jargon happening in the world right now, with politics, with the Brexit situation, with Trump, with Modi, with world poverty. So everything that we took for granted is now falling apart. Even the way we stream our media, the films, celebrities, the coming up of YouTube, and the creation of people like PewDiePie. So it's changed the dynamics of how we interpret reality. Okay, with this with the advent of the age of Aquarius, everything is going to be in air very soon. When Pluto moves into Aquarius 2026, oh boy, will this time seem heavy. So what I'm saying is, there's so much of conflict and polarization out there that if that's what's upsetting you, then use the Mercury retrograde period as a time to tune off from all this noise that is keeping you from the true expression of your soul. It is time to forget about linear ideas and linear constructs and to think of something fantastic, to not depend on the external world to feed you stimuli so you can react to it. Maybe this is the time to stop reacting and to truly understand why your motivations and desires are aligned the way they are, to truly grasp at meaning. This is what Mercury retrograde does, and it's not about linear meaning here. There's so much going on under the surface that we are not aware of, with the deep state, the covert cabal, and all of that. So much is coming out, and the path is precarious. I'm not saying it is easy going. It is a very precarious path right now that we are watching with this upcoming conjunction that's going to take place in Capricorn, and this is going to change the structures of our world like we've never experienced before. So much Capricorn activation has not taken place for thousands of years. Okay, so this is actually the Mercury, because he's a psychopomp, he creates a bridge. So Mercury is also a bridge. In the Eastern Buddhistic system, it is known as the antahkarana. Okay, the antahkarana is a bridge between this world and the world of spirit. And the psychopomp of Mercury travels to and fro through this bridge. And especially when he retrogrades, he's walking through the bridge. And he brings us messages from this antahkarana. Okay, now think of when you cross a bridge, right? I've spoken a lot about Mercury retrograde, especially how it's like, when the archer, they aim, and the moment they pull back the bow before they release it, that is like a Mercury retrograde. Think of the athlete, okay, and they're crouched down and they're just about to get up and sprint. That is the energy of the Mercury retrograde. Okay, so so think of this bridge, okay, a literal bridge. So when you're crossing a bridge, you are not, especially if it's precarious and it's between two mountains, you're not chatting, you're not uselessly expending energy. But if you're smart, you are concentrating on the task of crossing that bridge and succeeding in crossing that bridge, because your survival depends upon it. So the Mercury retrograde energy can be used very effectively as a way to walk through that bridge without any distractions, fully concentrated. You're walking through that bridge. So think of this as that time, and you've got to cross that bridge, okay? Take it one step at a time, one breath at a time. And Mercury retrograde in Scorpio is all about focus. Don't forget, Scorpio is a fixed sign, fixed water, bringing in focus, concentration. That's why they have the obsessive trend, the obsessive vibe, because they understand focus. Where they focus is something completely different, but focus is the key here, okay? And Scorpio's archetype of the detective. So you can dig deep into your unconscious at this time and really understand the symbols and the shadow that exists over there. Think about that. It's about understanding the shadow, integrating the shadow. Now, think about this, that whenever a thought is formed and you cogitate on it and you think on that thought is energy, you know that is Mercury functioning within you. A thought, the spark of a thought, an idea. Again, Mercury is active within you, okay? When you communicate that thought, that is also Mercury, right? And when you listen to someone talking about their emotions, their ideas, then that is also Mercury talking, Gemini talking. That's why Mercury ruled Geminis can surely talk. So everything about communication is Mercury's domain. the presentation you're preparing, the YouTube videos I'm doing, all of it, okay, that office project or your personal project, everything is Mercury, right? So when that press conference, so now is the time to internalize all this that you were doing these last few months. Mercury retrogrades 3 to 4 times a year, so there is a lot of this energy that is available. It especially affects Virgos and Geminis, okay? And so even the courses that you learn, students studying, everything is Mercury. Even when I sit here making a YouTube video and I fumble for words, that is Mercury. So use this energy, this archetypal energy that is now going back to the antahkarana. Use it wisely, and you will achieve a lot in this 3-month period, from when Mercury goes into shadow, goes retrograde, then starts going into shadow direct, then goes direct. So this whole period can be a period of tremendous growth and opportunities when it comes to all things communication oriented, okay? So this is it. Read now. It's a very good time to read more than communicate something new to people or new ideas. Read, develop your vocabulary. Very precious time to develop your vocabulary. Get into something new, write if you want, write, especially if you're Gemini, Virgo, write. All the other signs. So how are you going to use this Mercury retrograde? Tell me, how are you going to understand the messages that the psychopomp will bring from the antahkarana? Let me know in the comments below. Visit my website www.tinaheals.com to book a reading and check out my merch. Thank you.